Welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host Ali Gohar. Tonight we're going to talk about the state of Taekwondo in Pakistan. Taekwondo, as we all know, is one of the most difficult disciplines to master, but there's no doubt, as you'll hear tonight, that there's plenty of talent in Pakistan. We'll be speaking to the president of the Pakistan Taekwondo Federation, but before we do, our PTV World production team has prepared a special package on the history of Taekwondo in Pakistan and the current state of the sport. Let's listen in.
The Pakistan Taekwondo Federation is the national governing body to develop and promote the sport of Taekwondo in Pakistan. Taekwondo was introduced in Pakistan by the Korean consulate in Karachi in 1962. Initially, it had taken a start in Karachi, Lahore and Islamabad, but with the passage of time and with tireless efforts, determination and dedication of martial arts lovers, now it is proliferated all over the country. Pakistan has participated in 19 top international events this year, while it also took part in Manchester World Championship where it managed to win silver and bronze medals. While in 13 South Asian Games in Nepal, Pakistan won 3 gold, 7 silver and 7 bronze medals, which is a tremendous achievement and speaks volumes about the talent in Pakistan. The Pakistan Taekwondo Federation has not missed a single mega event this year. In less than a 1-week camp, Pakistan Taekwondo managed to win 17 medals in the 13 South Asian Games. Pakistan's youngest Taekwondo star, a 9-year-old Aisha Ayaz, made her country proud by winning a gold medal at a mega international Taekwondo championship, the 8th Fujairah Open in Dubai. Pakistan will host G1 and first South Asian Taekwondo Championship simultaneously in October 2020, which will help Taekwondo flourish in Pakistan.
And to talk about Taekwondo in further detail, I've been joined by a Colonel retired Wasim Ahmed Janjua, the President of the Pakistani Taekwondo Federation. Sir, great to have you on the show.
Thank you very much. I'm highly obliged.
Thank you for being here.
Grateful.
Sir, before we talk about the state of Taekwondo in Pakistan, I'd like to ask you, because I understand you've been involved in Taekwondo since 2003, you became the President in 2014. I'd like to hear a little bit about your journey and what you had to do to become the president.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll start that basically I'm a cricket player, but as you know that 2004 the South Asian Games were conducted in Pakistan. So the management of the Pakistan Army, they took me as a manager in that, and I joined Taekwondo in 2003. And at that moment I was not knowing about ABC of Taekwondo, because a person who is playing in his entire army life and the civilian life of mine, when I was in college or in school, cricket and hockey, so it was very difficult for me to know about this. But that was my start, and with the support of the 2 Korean coaches and the moral support being given to me by the General Arif Hassan, Brigadier Salim Nawaz, at that time he was the Director of Army Sports, Brigadier Arif Siddiqui, he was Director General Pakistan Sports Board, Colonel Yahya was G1, and then he was the SAF Secretariat Secretary General. They supported me and they said that you have to take this Taekwondo and we will back you up. So this way I came into Taekwondo. This was a brief.
And you did a number of courses as well around the world.
Then definitely, then in 2005 I requested the Director General Pakistan Sports Board that if you want me to excel in this, then there is a need that I must know about the sports. And for that I went to the one of the topmost university in Korea, that was in Seoul, and there I have about 3 weeks I have come to know about the basic administration, how to manage and how to move on, because at that moment I will not say that the previous stakeholders before us was not working, but the state of affair of Taekwondo was not that good as it is now, because first appearance of the Taekwondo in official event of Pakistan was in 99 South Asian Games, which was held in 1999 in Kathmandu, and there we had bulk of team participated, but we managed to bag only 1 silver and 2 bronze, I think. But this was a task which was given to me, and it was better. It was good that we have delivered in 2004. And we have shown that Taekwondo, which is an Olympic sports, it has talent in Pakistan. The only thing is that we have to dig it out, the real coaches and the athlete, and bring them to the some platform to perform.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned the current state of Taekwondo in Pakistan, how it has gotten better. Just could you expound on that?
Then in 2006, I become Secretary General. And when I become Secretary General, unfortunately, again, there was no coaching qualified people with us. And even if there was there, but they were not available to the Federation. Likewise, we didn't have the international referees with us. And there was a big challenges with there was only WAPDA, Pakistan Army. Those were the main opponents, those who were performing. As far as the provincial teams are concerned, the other department like now Navy, Air Force are there. HSC has come up in this, then Pakistan Railway. So at that time there were big challenges for us. So slowly and gradually we worked, and we touched the grassroots. And grassroots that we were at that time we were having was the club. And from there we have started doing. And then when we went in Asian Championship, again the level of our athlete was not as good as now it is, because at that time it was very difficult for our athletes, especially females, to stand there on the mat for about 10 to 15 seconds. And now they are getting medals. They are playing in international level like Asian Games, Islamic Games, World Championships, and other international championships which are called G1 and G2 events. So this was the progress that we have done.
No, that's why grooming is you're having qualified coaches is absolutely crucial. Because if you don't, no matter how talented somebody is, they won't be able to get to the next level if they don't have the right facilities and, most importantly, the right coaches.
This is what I'm saying, that unfortunately, if we talk about cricket, we talk about hockey and squash, or a bit football. Other sports, unfortunately, they do not have that kind of a platforms. Then the financial problems and other problems in a way, how to get the donors, how to get the sponsorship. It was not there at all. So if we will not, I know that the girl or a boy has a potential, but if I will not give him a platform, how he is going to perform? So the person who is going first time and performing at the highest level, for there it was very difficult for them to sustain it. So
you talked about funding, and when we talk about other sports besides cricket, I mean Taekwondo is not alone in this. Searching, trying to get the private sector involved, trying to engage the government. It's not an easy task. So what's the long-term plan here then to try and engage the private sector and these other institutions that can help? Because as you said, there is talent in Pakistan, and they've shown that at the top level. But in order to be consistent, a little bit of help is needed.
In 2015 and 16, I was lucky enough that I was selected to attend the course, in which that was basically for the coaches and for the administrators. It was in USA, and it was based on the 4 modules. The final module was in Lausanne. In that, we have come to know the marketing tactics. We have come to know that how to attract the people, as you are saying, the multinational companies, the sponsors, the donors, and how to train the grassroots players. Because unfortunately, we groom a person who is at the age of 20, 22, 23.
By then it's too late.
So in Olympics or sports like Taekwondo, or I must say about Judo, Karate, Wushu, in that the basic, the last age is 26, 27. So I am taking a person who is 23, 24 years. So he doesn't have a life to go there. So when I came back, I started getting the coaches of the club and started training them. For that, I have done different coaching courses in Kabirwala, Multan, Islamabad, Quetta, and even I went to Karachi also. So there we have gathered about everywhere 100 plus coaches. At least tell them something that how to train them. So we started grassroots, and secondly, coming over to the multinational companies, we have managed Hankook, the Korean Samsung, the Korean involvement of the Korean embassy, then getting the people from Kukiwan, getting the people from World Taekwondo to come and perform and display here in Pakistan, so that the media should be involved, the parents should be involved, and they should see. And then we used to call the heads of the multinational companies to come and see, for the inspirations. And this way, now, if we talk about 2019, our teams have participated. One event I will mention, in UAE, more than 100 athletes from Pakistan participated, aging from 8 to 30 years. So this was the change that I brought here. Likewise, if we talk about 2018, 17, from there we have started and we have involved the people, because if we talk about the government or Pakistan Olympic Association, they do not have funds for federation like us. And even because of this now present situation in the country, they do not have funds. Even government doesn't have. So we have started self-financing our athlete, and it worked. And now almost in 2 years' time, we have participated in 20 international competition, and the result in December was in the shape of the South Asian Games.
Well, the important thing is, yes, I mean, in any third world country, you will have these sorts of challenges where you won't get enough, where you just don't have enough money from the state, or in our case, the Olympic Association. Especially now, times are very, very difficult. But you've shown that you can operate outside your framework, and that's something that you need to do. You need to be able to improvise and think out of the box, and that's what your multinationals and the corporate sector would love to see, because the results are there. Yes. So there's no reason why you won't be able to see more money or growth in the future. Yes. So I think that's a very positive step. Just going back a little bit, you mentioned parents a couple of times. I just want to go back, encouraging their children to take up taekwondo or any sport really. It's crucial. Yes. That the mindset changes. We've seen it changing, of course, as you said. There now quite a few girls and boys involved, but it's important that the parents push their children. Yes. to get involved in a discipline like this, because taekwondo, let's suppose that you don't even reach the top, but if you practice from the age of 8 to 20, and let's just suppose you don't go to the next level, although that's what you're looking for, it instills something in you. It instills discipline and strength.
Agreed.
You agree with that?
Yes, of course. Of course.
So what would you like to say about parents and encouraging their children to take this up?
I always try to teach my students, whenever I get a chance to interact with them, that there is a triangular. The triangular is between the student, the teacher, and the coach. So basically, sports is also not only for the taekwondo or for the sports. The entire life of art is based on these things, because if these triangular, they work together, you will get a better results. For example, if there is a problem between coach or athlete, then there is a resolve, that the result or the patch up or will come from the parents. Likewise, sometimes in individual sports, which I have experienced of last 17 years being in this outfit, that parents have some problem with their kids, not encouraging them and not pushing them. So then there is a role of the coach. It will ultimately come, and then he is the one who is motivating the parents. So if these three segments that we have, they worked, we can get a good results. Coming over to your next question, the question which you have asked me, that how we will get the results, because it is not possible for every child of 9 to 10 years that he will continue and he will serve the federation for 10 years or for the country for 10, 12 years.
Yeah.
But this is an individual sports. If a girl like you have shown it here from Swat, now this is our second event. Twice she participated in the national championship. There was a club championship. Unfortunately, in Pakistan, we do not have the concept of club championship. But if we talk about foreign countries, developed countries, they give preference to the club and then they give to the others. But here in Pakistan, it's the other way around. So I always encourage, we have started from 2015 until 2019. We are focusing on 2019. We are holding under 14 competitions. We are holding under 17 competitions, and then seniors. And in different competitions where we get a chance, we also involve the school associations to come, and their kids should participate. This way, even if one kid or one male or one female will get, and we will inspire the parents, we will inspire the schools, we will inspire the teacher that, look, she has a chance if she works, if we work on. It is called Canadian model, which is 10 years if we spend on anybody, whether it is a medical student or athlete or anybody else. If we spend 10,000 hours or 10 years, ultimately, if we work on him or her on 10 years, on 20, he or she should give you results at the highest forum. I'm talking of the Olympics. But so far, I think maybe squash is working on it, and they must be. Rest, I don't think so. Is there any federation who is working on such model?
No, it's great that you're working on that model and engaging the schools as well. That is absolutely crucial. And Taekwondo, in a sense, I mean, this sport, I mean, a lot of parents, I believe, would encourage their children to do that. Because when they're younger, they actually, Taekwondo is something that they feel like, this will be good, this will be good for their children. And if they do have, enough talent to go to the top, they'll be absolutely fine with that. But of course, the more encouragement, the better. No doubt about that. A little bit about, you mentioned the Koreans a couple of times. The role of the Korean embassy. Could you expound on that?
Korean embassy, why I always talk about the Korean embassy and their roles, because I was highly inspired with them. The embassy is always organized one event in a year, and which is sponsored by them. So they wanted that their Olympic sports should be excelled, and it should go all of the corners of the country in Pakistan. And the ambassador himself and their secretary, they always, before organizing or holding this competition, they have couple of time I used to go to their embassy. They talk about me, how we are managing, how many players are coming, are you touching the youth, are you calling the schools, like, so this is their passion about their sports, because the Taekwondo is a national sports of the Korea. So that is why it is the instructions of all the ambassadors, wherever the Koreans have employed their ambassadors, that they have to go and organize Korean Ambassador Cup, National Korean Ambassador Cup in that country. So so that is why I'm saying. And sometime they also used to call the international masters here in Pakistan to support. Likewise, other countries also they are doing this. So that is why I'm saying that the role of embassy is very, very important. Wherever today we stand, its major role is from the embassy.
Right. And having worked with Koreans, you'd understand that a hallmark, one of the hallmarks of their culture is discipline.
Yes.
Discipline is something that they pride themselves on, and I'm sure that's what, when you're talking to young athletes, young Taekwondo students, this is what you try to instill in them. Because, if you do well in one tournament, two tournaments, that's great. But if you want to be the best, if you want to get to the very top, you have to work very, very hard and maintain your discipline.
It is more than an army. I've served almost 25 years in the army.
Yeah.
But when I came into Taekwondo, it was in 2003, I was amazed. I can just narrate you a very small incident that they were called me in the embassy and they wanted to hold after South Asian Game National Korean Ambassador Cup, which was first my event which I have to conduct it, and I got late 5 minutes, and I thought that I am well in time, and they said that, sir, the secretary will not like to see you. You can come tomorrow, and then they will have discussion how to go about it. I got amazed and I got shocked that because at that time I was serving.
Because you were 5 minutes late.
Yes.
Oh my.
I didn't notice, and I didn't even think that if I get 5 minutes late, so they will be annoyed. The next day again I went, and then he said that, Major, at that time I was Major, that you are late and we don't like it. If the time is set, so I have a very precious 5 minutes that you have missed it, and I have decided that I will not meet you. So discipline is not only very, very important in Taekwondo, but it is very essential for human beings. Whether it's a student, even if I am here today 5:45. Why? Because I have mentioned that, sir, I will be here 5:45 is okay. He said fine. So there should be discipline. And when we talk about this Olympics martial arts sports, there is 8 to 10 hours a person has to practice to compete at international level. So there is a discipline involved. In 10 hours or 8 hours, he has to do different exercises, which involves its kyogi training, then it involves its going into the gym, then its own running, and so many other things. So without discipline, I think not only in Taekwondo, it's very, very important for all of us.
Yeah, every facet of life, of course.
Yes, of
and
course.
and we've talked about discipline, how that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
But let's talk about talent, the second most important thing in my opinion. And the numbers suggest that there is talent in Pakistan. In Nepal, they did very, very well. They won 3 gold medals, 7 silver, 7 bronze medals. That's a great achievement, a tremendous achievement, which just goes to show there's plenty of potential here. But I'd like you to expound on that further. I'd like you to tell our viewers just how much talent there is in Pakistan.
The
as far as Taekwondo
the
is
last event which we conducted in 2018 in Islamabad, there were 1,400 athletes participated of all ages. When I say all ages, that means starting from 9 till 50. Minus 50. 1,400 athletes in national champion is a very big number in Pakistan. And there were so many athletes which have lots of talent, especially from Balochistan, then from our FATA, because of their physical physique, and very close to Afghanistan, very close to Balochistan is very close to Iran. And if you see the results of Afghani and Iran in Olympics, in Taekwondo, you will see that they have gold and silver and bronze medals at the highest level. I'm not talking about these Asian Championships, Games or Islamic Games. I'm saying in Olympics. So the toughness of our people, it is very much there. They are strong, they have good physique. The only issue comes that how to make them polish. Talent you will find everywhere, but to polish and to develop 1 or 2 or 3 athletes, you need lots of finances. So far, we are not achieved that, but we have 4 or 5 athletes presently, those who have performed not only in SAF, because SAF is a very smallest level. Only 7-8 countries participating, and in that they performed, and the government supported them and give them the cash prizes, and when they go back to their hometowns, they are overwhelmed, they are welcomed very heavily. But my opinion is that we should now leave this South Asian Games and we think about Asian Championship, Asian Games. Till the time we will not think about these lines, especially the government, the national federations, and for that they must have the joint sessions. And for that joint session, it is need the Pakistan Olympic Association, Ministry of IPC, Pakistan Sports Board, they should sit with the stakeholders and then they say, okay, tell us those athletes, those can perform at the highest level. Now I'll talk about Mr. Haroon. He's based from Quetta, playing from Pakistan Wabda, and he is playing with us for 6 years. As a junior he came and now he has become international athlete and he got gold medal in SAF. Twice we have sent him for the training in Korea. Then there was a Olympic test qualification round in Japan before Olympics. Now it's been postponed and delayed. But we have sent him to Japan, and there his performance was immaculate. Excellent performance he has given there. And the world president, he called him and he appreciated him. It's a big
deal. It's massive.
Yes. So, because he was surprised that this guy is from Pakistan. Initially, when we used to go at the highest level, when I talk about World, Islamic Games, Asian Games, so people will used to say that this is just like a bye to me, because I am playing against Pakistan, it's a bye. So they never care for Pakistan, but now the things are changing now, just because of the results that they have performed. In World Championship, last World Championship in Manchester, Haroon has beaten the current European champion. A person getting up from Quetta, staying 2-3 events being given by the federation, and is beating the European champion. So you see the level of talent that you have. Now, that talent is now in front of you. The government or any multinational company should pick them.
You see, what you've just said right now, and I hope we can save this, everything that you just mentioned about Haroon, how he went to Japan, he was recognized, he was recognized there, and then he beat the European champion.
Yes, in World Championship.
Manchester, and he's this boy from Quetta. Right,
and
that is absolutely incredible. Right there, I mean, that's because he had the talent, the discipline, and most importantly, the fire in his belly. That's a wonderful story, and that's why marketing and telling these stories is so important. And now, thankfully, we're in the age of social media to do these things. And that's why I have a suggestion that also that's something that all sports, not just Taekwondo, but all sports need to focus on. Get that story out there. I mean, I don't know if this is a reflection on me, but this is my job, sir. And this is the first time I heard this story.
No, and this guy has got gold medal also in SAF Games. The government is in knowledge of this. Then the person who is supporting him is now our South Asian president, Mr. Umar. He is based in Karachi. He is CEO and MD of the Hankook, one of the biggest company in Pakistan, basically Korean, but he is the owner in Pakistan. So he is supporting him. Likewise, we have another Shahzeb, Mr. Shahzeb. He is also from Quetta, same guy, and he's too good, very explosive, and he also got gold. He also played very well in Manchester, and the report is being submitted by me as a manager to the Pakistan Sports Board.
Can we get them on the show? It would be great to have them. I would love to speak to them.
Right now, the both are in Quetta.
Right now,
because of the COVID-19, you know. And other way, it is the other athletes are very, very good. Lots of talent. Jabran is there. He got silver. He should have got gold, because I was expecting at least from Jabran gold medal in SAF Games. Now, Rab Nawaz, he's a bit now aged. He's touching almost 28, 29 years old. But he also got gold. The rest of the guys who have got silver, because we got 7 silver also. And the next South Asian Games in Pakistan. And we have a very little time. If we talk about the preparedness of the next South Asian Game, because we are hosting.
I was just saying that was going to be my final question.
Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead. The final South Asian Games.
I think that the National Federation starts thinking on these lines. If it will be in Pakistan, and if I don't give you 17 or 18 medal, So the biggest question will come from the media and from the government and from the Pakistan Olympic Association that in Nepal, in Kathmandu, you have given us 17 medals. Why more? Why not more in Pakistan? So there is lots of work to do, and for work, naturally, we have to have the best facilities. Now, with my own resources, with the support of my colleagues, because they are now higher ups in this country, we have already purchased about $70,000 we have spent only on the equipment of the Taekwondo. Taekwondo equipment is very, very expensive. It is just like fencing. All the electronic gadgets that are being used in this, very expensive. So a poor person sitting in Chagi, Chaman, some part of the Fata, they can't afford it. But we have got it. And without that equipment, the government cannot hold the international Asian Games. So,
is there a delay, or because of the corona situation, everything's up in the air?
No, we have already got it. The equipment which are, but from our
I'm
own.
talking about the tournament.
No, I think it's all because of the COVID-19. We should not be blaming Pakistan Olympics or Pakistan Sports Board, because now everyone is helpless. And more so, in this platform which you have provided me, there is a big message which everybody is giving to you, that this is a very big industry, but unfortunately this industry is not being touched, which is a big dilemma.
Right.
Sports is a big industry. If we talk about most of the people, those who are coming here or they are in the media, they always give the examples of Canada, US, America, UK, Australian, New Zealand, but they do not know that facilities being which provided by their governments or by their multinational companies, by their federations. It's remarkable. We cannot, our athlete cannot, I give salute to those people, those 18 people, and those who have not got medal even, that they have at least went there, they have stand on the mat and they have performed for the country.
Right.
They must be given salute, because they are doing well. Excellent job.
Well, sir, you've told some incredible stories about some top athletes. You've made some very important changes in Taekwondo in Pakistan. You're working very, very hard. And because you're so dedicated and passionate, I have no reason that there's no reason why you won't continue to succeed. It was a pleasure having you on the show.
I am
Colonel Retired Wasim Ahmed.
Thank you very much. I am highly obliged. Thanks for your such a nice questions, because you seems to be more in touch with the sports, because you are holding it also, the programs, and more so you are yourself is a athlete. So you know better than us the problems which are being faced by the federations and by the athletes. And I can give you assurance, in South Asian Games in Pakistan, which will be held in 2021, we will give more medals. This is I have challenged myself that it is my duty and my responsibility to perform better.
It was a pleasure having you
Likewise,
on the show.
likewise. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Grateful.
Before I close, I've just been told, we've just been given word that the match has resumed. West Indies versus England. It's the first game after coronavirus in an empty stadium. England have decided to bat. I believe Ben Stokes is the captain. It'll be very, very interesting to see what happens because of the situation and the new rules coming into play. But there's no doubt that England are favourites. There's no doubt about that, even though Joe Root isn't there. I believe one wicket has already fallen. Yeah, three overs, 1 for 1 at this stage. This is what I've just been told. So there's no reason why the West Indies can't give England a run for their money. They've got a very good bowling attack. They've got a very good bowling attack and a decent batting lineup. So it'll be an interesting series. So before we completely close, it's goodbye from me here in the studio. Our PTV World production team, though, have prepared a special package on the first test match between England and the West Indies. Let's listen in.
The wait is finally over as international cricket action is set to resume after almost 4 months gap due to COVID-19 pandemic that brought the gentlemen's game to standstill in March. The first test began in Southampton today. The second and the third test will be played at the same stadium, the Old Trafford in Manchester. Match will be played behind the closed doors with no crowd allowed, marking the first such instance in Test cricket's 143 years history. They will have no fans in the stadium to welcome them to the ground. They will have certainly missed the banners, posters and slogans which makes the game of cricket more exciting. Both teams have been isolating over the last few weeks and will continue to do so over the course of the 3-match series. With fans being banned from attending the matches, players have agreed in principle to allow fake noise and music to be played during the Test series.